joining. This is going to be a vinyasa flow class. We'll focus mostly on quads and shoulders, right? All over stretch, all over flow, but a little bit more emphasis on quads, shoulders. So if you're working with any injury, you know that I offer modifications as we go. So really just honor your body, take breaks as needed. We'll get started in child's pose. So take the big toes together to touch. Allow your knees to come out wide, the width of the mat, and then sink your hips back towards your heels. Your hips never need to touch your heels, right? But the closer they can get towards the heels is great. Walk your hands forward. And just allow this to be more of a resting pose. So you can allow your forearms to relax, allow your forehead to relax down on the mat as well. See if you can crawl your fingers just a little bit more towards the top of the mat. And see if you can scoot your shoulders just a little bit back, right, away from your ears. As you begin to settle into this space, see if you can notice your points of contact on the mat. Your tops of your feet, perhaps your ankles, your shins, your forehead, your arms, palms. Allow yourself to become just a little bit more comfortable if needed. So perhaps you rock your head side to side for a moment, massage through your brow bone, relax through your neck. Eventually, come back through stillness if you were not already there. And bring your awareness to your breath. And take a moment to just notice what is, how you arrived in the space, what it feels like to be you this morning. Notice if your breath is caught anywhere, feels stuck. And then just gradually allow each inhale to become a little bit more fuller than the last. Let's see if you can really take time to elongate your exhale. Often I find counting is helpful here. So perhaps your inhale is 3 or 4 seconds. And can you allow the exhale to be 5 or maybe even 6 seconds? So allowing your exhale to really ground you down into this moment, onto your mat, into your space. If it feels accessible to you in your shoulders, option to take your palms together to prayer. Now there's no right or wrong way to do this. Your arms can still be extended. Or for a little bit deeper in the shoulders, bend right at the elbows and allow your thumbs to come to the back of your neck. Let's take this moment to set an intention for class. Maybe that's just the first word that comes to mind. Maybe it's something you're working on, right? Trying to cultivate, honoring pause, staying with your breath, whatever it may be. Once you bring that thought to mind, take a deep inhale through your nose. Long exhale out of your mouth, sigh it out. And seal off your lips. And begin guiding inhale, exhale through your nose. Kick on that Ujjayi breath. It's a gentle constriction in the back of your throat, also known as Darth Vader breath. So it's that audible sound that will help to build focus, build heat. Release your prayer hands back down onto the mat. Press into your palms. Take a moment to really press down through your forearms as well, and use your next inhale to glide slightly forward. So modified table here. You're still on your forearms. And then exhale, sink your hips back. So gentle movement few more times. Inhale, glide forward, press down through your forearms and your palms. Exhale, hips go back towards heels. One more time. Inhale, glide forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, hips go back. Now this time, press into the palms, lift the forearms up, and glide your torso over to the right on the breath in. So the right side body goes all the way out to the right. Come up through center, and then use the exhale to head your side body, send it all the way to the left and then all the way back down. Option to close your eyes here, tune into your breath. Notice what it feels like to move your body with your breath. Allow your body to set the pace. So if you have a tendency to move quickly, right, notice what it feels like to slow the movements down. And in turn, that will slow the breath down as well. Next time you find yourself through that child's pose, switch it out. So now your inhale takes you all the way to the left. Come through center and then to the right. And of course, add any other movement that feels right in your body. Eventually, let's meet back through stillness the next time you find yourself in a tabletop position. No rush getting there. When you arrive in that space, curl over the toes and send the hips to the sky. Find downward facing dog. Right, note in your body if down dog doesn't feel right today, tap your knees down to the mat and stay in table. Right? If you're staying in table, move through some cat-cow motion. So inhale, sink your belly, lift your heart forward. Exhale, we'll tuck and round, chin to chest. If down dog feels accessible, pedal through the legs for a moment. And take your feet wide. Right? Create some space for the hips. Check in with your shoulders. You can even take your hands wide as well. Maybe even spin the hands out to the side to the webbing of the index and thumb face forward. Allow your neck to relax. Right? Keep that big bend to the knees. Your heels never need to touch the earth here. What's most important is that long spine, so the tailbone pointing up towards the sky. And wherever you are, table or down dog, and take your left leg more towards the middle of the mat for more stability, and then stretch your right leg all the way to the sky for three-legged table or three-legged down dog. Pause for a breath in. Now use the breath out to step your right foot forward in between your hands. Tap your right knee down if it's not already there, and then sweep your arms up overhead. I'll come to face you here, and I'll mirror you, so my left leg is forward, but mindful that your right leg should be forward. So arms come up overhead, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. So you can sink a little bit deeper into your right leg. Breathe in. Now just take your fingertips down to your shoulders and find some movement here for the shoulders. So rocking the arms forward at first. You can draw these little circles with the elbows, or maybe they're nice and wide, nice and big. Really depends on how spacious you feel in your shoulders today. Switch it out, switch directions, almost like you're doing a backstroke here, mini half backstroke, fingertips on the shoulder. And stable in your lower half, squeezing your thighs together, root tailbone down. Back through stillness with the arms, take your arms back up overhead, and then just take your right hand down to your right hip, side bend to the right. So you feel that length all along your side body. You're testing your balance still here, right? So scissor those thighs together. Find your drishti, your steady focal point. Draw the belly button in to engage the core. Come back through center. Both arms reach back up. Release the arms by your side. Interlace your hands back behind you. So if you can press your fist towards the floor as you roll your shoulder heads back, feel that openness across your chest. Breathe in. Allow your breath out to lead with your heart and fold into your humble warrior variation. So the torso comes on top of or inside of the right leg, you decide. But tension through the neck goes. I know it's probably tempting to look at the camera, right? But notice if you can just allow the crown of the head to fall towards the mat. Send the fist towards me. Deep breath in. On the exhale, release the bind in the hands. Take the fingertips down, walk the right foot forward just a little bit more so that the heel is past the knee. Sink in a little bit deeper on the inhale for that lunge. And then use the exhale to lengthen through your right leg. Come into half split. I'll come this way so that you can see me. Blocks can be helpful here. If you don't have any at home, don't stress, that's fine. You can stay up on your fingertips. You'll probably just need a little bit bigger of a bend into the knee, and that's okay. And check back in with your left hip. Mindful that it's right over your left knee. If you notice it's way back, you probably won't feel as much through calf and right hamstring. So toe heel that right foot forward a little bit more and then realign into your half split. And notice the deeper sensation through the back of your right leg. Let's stay for one more inhale here. Use the exhale to rebend, come back into the lunge. Curl the back toes, lift the back knee. So you're in a high runner's lunge. Inhale. Step to the top of the mat on the exhale. Find your halfway lift, breathe in, press your hands into your shins, fold and bow, breathe out. One more time like that. Inhale lifts you halfway. Now this time take your hands to your hips, still a bend into the knees to protect the low back and the hamstrings. Use your next inhale to lift from the back of your heart, come all the way up to stand, take your arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Hands come down for prayer heart center. Reach your arms back to the sky on your breath in. Swan dive down on the exhale. Lead with the heart, hinge at the hips, bend into the knees, fold. Uttanasana, forward fold. Lift, find length. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Fold and bow, breathe out. Plant your palms. Step your right foot back to a lunge. Step your left foot to meet it in plank, top of a push-up. You can always tap your knees down for more support here in the plank. Still a great way to build strength in your shoulders. See if you can find that balance between puffing your upper back and drawing your shoulder blades in towards your spine so you have most engagement through your shoulders. Use the next exhale to you decide, shift through table, you could stay there, or lift your hips to the sky and find downward facing dog. Once you arrive in either table or down dog, feel free to find some movement here. Right? So you could shake your head, maybe unclench your jaw, and fall back into that Ujjayi breath if you've lost it. Maybe even that slightly longer exhale. Instead of sneeze, think, oh, I don't know. I might have to sneeze, so excuse me if I do. Use your next inhale to take your right knee if you're in table or right foot if you're in down dog into the middle of the mat so you have a little bit more stability here. And then float your left leg up to the sky to find that three-legged dog or table. Inhale. Exhale, step your left foot forward in between your hands. Tap your left knee down, so low lunge. Again, I'll come this way to face you. I'm mirroring you, so my right leg is forward, but your left leg is forward. As you're ready, take your arms up overhead. Low lunge. Inhale. On the exhale, fingertips back to the shoulders. Find that movement for the shoulders, forward first. And again, focusing on the lower half still too. So tailbone pulls down, low belly up. So you're not dumping into low back here. Right, core is engaged, thighs are engaged, lots going on. Switch directions. Find your way back to stillness. Take your arms up overhead for a breath in. And then the arms come by the side for the breath out. Interlace this time. The less familiar thumb comes on top. Right, take that time to roll the shoulder heads back. And maybe find a little bit of a back bend here to really puff up the upper chest. Exhale leads with the heart. Humble warrior variation. Fold the torso on top of or inside of the thigh. Fist comes forward. Release tension through the neck. Of course, this is a lot on the shoulders, so if at any point it feels too intense, release the bind in your shoulder and your hands, okay? Stay for one more inhale. Exhale, release the hands down. Come up onto your fingertips. Toe heel your left foot forward a little bit more so you can find that length. Breathe into your lunge. Exhale, half split, half Hanuman. So you find that length through your left leg this time. I'll go sideways so that you can see me better. And again, staying up on fingertips is great. If you have like a hardwood book or two nearby, that can be helpful as a block if you don't have blocks at home and you really wanted something. Right? or even a Kleenex box. Sometimes those can be helpful too. Unopened, preferably. Stay for one more inhale. Now use the exhale to breathe in, to come back into that lunge. Curl over the right toes, lift the right knee, send the gaze forward so you're in your high runner's lunge. Step to the top of the mat on the exhale. Find length, breathe in, reach the crown of the head forward. Fold and bow, breathe out. Bend the knees a lot. Sit the hips back as if you're about to sit into a chair. And then reverse swan dive, out, wide up. Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Hands come through prayer. Just trace them in line right back down. Lead with your heart and hinge at your hips. Find length on an inhale. Fold on the exhale. Plant the palms. Left foot goes back first this time to a lunge. And then right foot meets it in plank, top of a push-up. Right shoulders in line with hips. Tap those knees down for most support. Great way to still build strength in the shoulders and honor your body, your energy. So if you can press the mat away a little bit more, breathe in. You decide, you shift back to table or to downward facing dog on the exhale. Deep breath in. Always an option for an open mouth exhale, right? Recenter the breath, the mind. Seal off the lips, come back to that Ujjayi breath. On your next inhale, send your gaze forward to the top of the mat. Find a slow walk forward on the exhale. So working the calves, the hamstrings. We'll meet in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Big bend into the knees is great, right? Protect the back, protect the hamstrings. Lift and lengthen, inhale. Fold right back down, exhale. Bend the knees, inhale all the way up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Find your upward salute. Exhale, hands come through prayer, heart center. Take the toes together to touch. Find a little sliver of light between the heels. And sweep the arms forward. Allow the palms to face down. Find your breath in. Use the breath out to sink the hips back and down. I can come this way for you to see me. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Now stay with me. Use the inhale to lengthen through the legs. Arms come by the sides, so palms face back. Exhale, sit the hips back. Right arms go forward. Start to work with your breath again. So inhale, lengthen legs, arms down. Exhale, right into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Relax through the shoulders. Be mindful that your jaw is not clenched. One more time. Next time you inhale to rise, just pause. Focus on your drishti in front of you. Send all the weight into your right foot. Come up onto the ball of your left foot. So I'm mirroring you, so I'm opposite, but you're on your right foot, ball of your left foot. We're just going to come into a quad stretch from here. So if you have the balance, maybe you reach back with your left hand, grab onto your left ankle. Doesn't matter which way, right? You can grab with your thumb facing forward, or you can grab the inside with your thumb facing back. Really just depends on how you're feeling in your shoulder, the openness through your shoulder. If you're near a wall, that can be handy, right? So use that as well. Take your right hand to your right hip. See if you can send your hips forward just a little bit more. Notice if you feel a deeper sensation through your left thigh. Focused on that drishti, right? Focused on your breath. If you fall out, fine, get back in. Right? That's life. Come this way, so we're at the top of the mat. Now stay with me, right leg leading. Find a little bend into the knee. Inhale. If you want the extra balance challenge, just release the quad stretch and then float your left leg back. Tap the toes down, tap the heel down, sweep the arms up overhead. We're in warrior one. Your right leg is leading, my left leg is leading, but your right leg is. Sweep the arms up overhead. Now check in through this warrior one pose. Right, if you feel any sensation that doesn't feel right, pain or pinching in your left knee, come up onto the ball of the back foot, lift the heel for a high crescent lunge. They're interchangeable, right, a little bit more gentle on the knee. And just like we did before in that lunge, the tailbone roots down and the low belly pulls up here. Find your breath in. Grow a little bit taller through your spine. Use the exhale to take a wide stance, warrior two. So toe heel that back left leg back. Big dip, deep bend into the right leg. See if you can have your right knee track a little bit more towards your pinky toe. And then bring awareness to your left pinky toe. Press it firmly down into the mat. And grow a little bit taller through the crown of the head. And then inhale, flip your front right palm, reverse your warrior. So you create space all along your side body. Recommit to your right lunge. Inhale. Exhale, back through center. Inhale, reach your right fingertips all the way forward. Again, I'm mirroring you, so I'm on my left side, but you're on your right side. Release, elbow down. Top left arm up overhead. Side angle pose. Press down through outer edges of both feet. Probably starting to feel it a little bit more in the quad, right? Inhale, come back through warrior two. Now this time, exhale, take your hands behind your back, just like we did before. Roll the shoulder heads back, breathe in. Come to humble warrior two on the breath out. So torso comes on inside of the right leg this time. Again, relax the neck. If this is too intense, skip it, of course. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands down, freeing your front right foot, high runner's lunge, breathe in. Step it back to plank pose, breathe out. Tap the knees down to the mat for support, inhale. Stay with me, use the exhale to come down to the right forearm, then down to the left forearm, forearm plank. So shoulders are still in line with hips. You can have the knees lifted if you want the more support, more heat. Again, you find that engagement for your shoulders though. So round the upper back and draw the shoulder blades in. You find that balance. Next, exhale, lower the hips down, lift the heart. Take the feet wide the width of the mat. So right into Sphinx pose, little back bend here. Press down through your forearms, through your palms. Gaze comes forward, the same direction as your heart. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the toes, take them back to about feet hip distance. Press into the toes, lift the hips, maybe even lift the knees. And then right hand down, left hand down, plank. Maybe you meet in table, or perhaps you wanted a downward facing dog. Right, so you decide. As you arrive, notice your breath. Where is your mind? Deep breath in. Gaze goes forward. Find a slow walk or a hop if you want it to the top of the mat. Find length on your breath in. Just fold on your breath out. Inhale to rise all the way to stand. Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale, hands come through prayer. Now again, toes together to touch. Sweep the arms forward, palms face down. Breathe in. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Maybe you can stay with that long exhale that we started with at the top of class, the beginning of class. So inhale, find that length through the legs, stand. Long exhale as you sink the hips back into Utkatasana, engaging your core, belly button comes in. Inhale, find length. Right, exhale, sit the hips back. Mindful that the knees are behind the toes. Inhale, lengthen. Last time, exhale, sit the hips back. Find your length once again. And then this time, all the weight goes into the left foot, come up onto the ball of the right foot. So you could stay here, maybe play around with reaching back for your quad stretch. If you're not feeling very balanced, use a wall or a chair. Left hand comes to left hip. Send the hips forward to feel more sensation, more stretch through your quad. And again, either way you grab is fine. It just really depends on how you feel in your shoulder. I imagine it's more accessible in most bodies for the right thumb to be facing forward and have your reach to be on the outside. But if you have any shoulder injury, you might find it's more accessible for the thumb to face back. Find your adjusty right, find your focus, back to your breath. If you want that added balance, maybe you allow the leg to float back without ever touching the mat. We're meeting in warrior one or high crescent. The left leg is leading forward, the right leg is back. I'll come this way to mirror you at first. Again, remember, it's interchangeable. I prefer high crescent lunge for my knees, so that's where you'll usually find me. But if warrior one feels okay in your body, root your heel down, the toes face to the outer edge of the top mat. Tailbone roots down, low belly up. Find your breath in. Open to warrior two on the breath out. I'll come this way so you can see me better. Take that nice wide stance in your warrior two. Your left leg is strong bend here. Knee over ankle, straight right leg. Left knee tracks more towards pinky toe. Find that length. Grow tall. Inhale, flip your front palm. Reverse your warrior. Slide your back hand down your back leg. Stay committed to that lunge if that feels okay. If you want a little weight off the hip flexor, off the psoas, you could always come to a straight leg. One more inhale. Take it back to warrior two. Exhale. Grow tall. Breathe in. Reach the left fingertips forward this time. Then release. Left forearm down the thigh. Right arm by ear. The side angle pose. Reach your fingertips the same direction as your toes. See if you can spin your heart a little bit more towards the sky. Press down through both feet, inner and outer edges. Engage your core. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Warrior two. Release the arms. Left sternal thumb comes on top. Breathe in. Roll your shoulder heads back. Lead with your heart. Humble warrior two as you breathe out. Torso inside of the left leg this time. Relax through your head, through your neck. One more inhale. Allow the exhale to release the hands to frame the front foot. Come up onto the ball of the back right foot. Right heel is lifted. Inhale. Step it back to your plank pose. Right away for most support. Tap those knees down. Right. Shoulders over wrists. Inhale. Down to the left forearm, down to the right forearm. Forearm plank. Knees up or down. You decide. If you notice your breath is becoming a little jagged, a little short, take it as a sign to give your body a little bit more space, a little bit more support. Use the next exhale to lower the hips, lift the heart right into Sphinx pose. Take the feet wide, width of the mat. Gaze in the same direction as your heart is pointing. Or if you want, maybe even close your eyes. One more inhale. Nice and slow on the exhale, start to readjust the feet about hip distance apart. You can keep those knees down, but tuck the toes, lift right back up into your forearm plank. If you want the heat, take the knees up off the mat as well. Press down through the left hand, down through the right, plank or modified plank. Breathe in, shift through table, option for downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out, release. Where is my mind? How is my breathing? If you're in your tabletop position, you may want to roll over your toes, press into your hands, and just lift your knees slightly. If you're in your down dog, either way, we'll use our inhale to walk our hands to the back of the mat, towards our feet. Find a forward fold at the back of your mat. Lift halfway, breathe in, just fold, breathe out. Come up onto fingertips, toe heel the toes once again together to touch. Come back into that halfway lift, but this time take your arms back behind you so that your palms face down, airplane arms. We'll send all the weight into the right foot, come up onto the ball of the left foot. Now this might be plenty. If you wanted to test your balance a little bit, maybe notice what it feels like to tap the left toes down, back behind you. That could be plenty. Or maybe you begin to float the left leg up. I'm floating my left leg as well. My right leg is down. challenging. Right, so find your drishti, stay with your breath. Maybe you float the leg to a modified, or a warrior three rather, airplane. Arms, right, palms are down. Let's see if you can dial your left hip down, even with your right. Flex your back foot, really press through the heel as if your foot is up against a wall. You're pressing the wall away. If you want the balance challenge, stay with me. Use your inhale to lift from the back of your heart. Don't tap your left foot down, but instead just step it about a foot forward. This time, press into the left leg, lift the right leg up. Reach back to come back into that quad stretch that we did before. Maybe the left hand comes to the hip, or option to send it forward. If dancers in your practice begin to hinge at the hips as you press your back foot into your hand so that right foot presses firmly into the palm, and then hinge slightly forward. Again, focused on drishti. How is your breathing? Right, a little bend into the left leg so it's stable and strong. Inhale. Allow the exhale to come back up through the quad stretch. Again, if you want that balance challenge, maybe the toes don't even tap down. Step it forward, hands come to hips. Root your left heel down. So you're in a modified pyramid pose. Your feet might be a little bit shorter together, closer together, that's okay. Lead with your heart as you allow your right hand to pull your right hip back and your left hip forward. Come right into pyramid pose at the top of the mat. Right, so similar to half split that we did earlier, except now your back left heel is down. So it's just a different stretch for your calf. In your pyramid pose, right, again, you might want blocks. If you don't have blocks, Kleenex boxes can come in handy, or a hardcover book. Otherwise, fingertips and just a little bend to the knee, right? We adjust, modify as needed. Wrap the right hip back, pull the left hip forward. Send the gaze forward, breathe in. Step to the top of the mat, breathe out. Bend the knees, inhale to rise all the way up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale, take the hands through prayer, heart center. Release your arms by your sides. Just find a moment of pause. Tadasana, mountain pose. Maybe even close your eyes. Notice any subtle differences from right to left side. Maybe even any subtle differences in energy, your mood. Sweep your arms up overhead, find your breath in. Take your hands through prayer. Trace the midline all the way down and fold. Find length on an inhale. Fold on the exhale, plant the palms. Right foot goes back to a lunge. Left foot meets it in plank. Take a moment to decide what you would like here. Most importantly, you can tap the knees down for more support. If you wanted to chaturanga, if that's in your practice, use your inhale to shift forward. Exhale, lower down halfway, pause, elbows in line with your body, right point back behind. Inhale, shifts your heart forward, find your cobra, or maybe even up dog, float the knees. And then move with your body. You can move through table or maybe find downward facing dog. Home stretch here. If you're in your table, curl over the toes, float the knees. It'll make it more accessible for you as we all inhale, walk our hands back to our feet, the back of our mat, forward fold. Find length on a breath in, fold on the breath out. Come up onto the fingertips for most support, toe heel to toes together. And then find your halfway lift once again, arms come back behind. So your airplane arms, palms are down. This time all the weight goes into the left leg, a little bit into the knee, so you're not hyperextending or locking out. Come up onto the right toes, maybe you take the toes back for most support. Or if you wanted to shift into that airplane warrior three posture, find your drishti, right? Gaze in the same direction as your heart and float the right leg, flex through the right foot. See if you can dial the right leg down. Dial the right hip down, even with the left. Are you breathing? If you want that balance challenge. Maybe the right foot does a tap as you inhale to rise. Step the right foot about a foot forward. Press into the right leg, lift the left leg up. Come back to that quad stretch that we were in. Grab the inner or the outer, you decide. If you want the dancer pose, right hand come to hip, or right hand faces forward. Press your top of your left foot into your hand. When you can't press any further, begin to hinge forward at the hip. If you feel like you're really out of breath or struggling, right, take it as a sign that maybe you went too far. You can come back out of it, find a wall, find a chair. We'll stay for one more round of breath wherever you are. Eventually come back up to standing, release your left leg, step it forward. Take your hands to the hips, right heel roots back. Breathe in. Allow your hands to guide the way. Left hip back, right hip forward as you fold over your left leg. Pyramid pose. Once you reach the bottom of your fold, take the hands down. Remember a little bend into the left knee to mindful that you're not locking out the leg. You don't want to hyperextend through that knee, so a little bend, this will protect that. See if you can let any tension through your neck go. Relax the crown of the head down. Send your gaze forward, breathe in. Step to the top of the mat, breathe out. Lift, find length, inhale. Right back down, exhale. Bend the knees, inhale to rise. You're lifting from your legs, not your back on this rise. All the way up to stand. Exhale, hands come through prayer. Release your arms by your sides, palms face forward, feet hip distance, mountain pose, Tadasana. Allow your eyes to close. Notice if you'd like to sway, like to move, right? See what it feels like to just find stillness. What does it feel like to arrive back in silence? Notice any external sounds. Maybe you have music playing, maybe you can hear some birds and cars. And then bring your awareness inward to your internal landscape. Where is your mind? How is your breathing? Can you come back to that long exhale? Allow it to ground you back down into this moment. Allow your eyes to take on light and sweep your arms up overhead. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Swan dive down. Fold and bow. Lift on an inhale. Just fold on the exhale. Plant the palms. Walk it back. Option to walk through plank. Maybe you just hold here. Build that strength through your shoulders. You can always tap the knees down if chaturanga is in your practice and you want one more flow. Lower down halfway. Elbows point back behind. Right, inhale lifts your heart, you move with your breath. Exhale shifts the hips back, maybe through table, or perhaps you want one final down dog. Let's all meet back in table on your next exhale. And from tabletop position, swing the legs around. Come into a seated position in the middle of your mats. Come this way so that you can see me. Bend into the knees, feet about hip distance apart. Take your hands to the backs of your thighs. Now find your cobra back, or what we were doing earlier with the rounding of the shoulders back, pressing the chest forward. You feel like really find that opening across your chest. And then exhale, round the shoulders forward. Curl the chin to the chest. Lower one vertebra down at a time. All the way down onto your back. Once you arrive down onto your back, reach your arms up overhead. And stretch your legs long. Give yourself a full body stretch. 2 directions. Flex your feet, reach through your heels, your fingertips. And then exhale, release your hands by your sides, bend into the knees, plant the feet back down onto the mat. Slightly tuck your shoulders underneath you. If you feel like your low back is lifted, your lumbar spine, that happens to me often when I lay down, you might want to press into your heels, lift your hips just to realign, lower the low back right back down. Well, from here, let's take it into a figure four. Right leg leads, so lengthen through the right leg and then cross the right ankle over the left thigh. This may feel funny depending on how you're feeling this morning. Maybe you take your right hand to your right thigh and just gently guide your right leg away. Or if you want more, you could take your hands, interlace behind the back of the left thigh, take the left knee in towards your chest. Option to find some movement side to side. If you want one last little hamstring stretch, lengthen the left leg, flex the foot. If you're finding that gentle rock side to side, come back to stillness, rebend the left leg. Place the left foot back down onto the mat if you're not already there. Stay with your cross leg or figure four, and then cross your right leg all the way over the left, so right thigh on top of left thigh. Take your arms out like a T. Allow your palms to face up to find the external rotation. Press down through your left foot to shift your hips over to the right slightly. Lower the hips back down and allow both legs to fall over to the left. So that moving the hip towards the right just allows more space through your spine for the spinal twist. If the right leg crossed over the left feels too intense, and it may, it's a much deeper stretch, a lot more weight for your side body, feel free to unhook and just allow right knee to fall right on top of left. Now if it feels okay in your neck and your cervical spine, your gaze comes over your right fingertips in the opposite direction of your legs. Your legs out to the left, your gaze is to the right. If you haven't already, fall back into the natural rhythm of your breath. Release any manipulation and any control. Just allow your body to breathe you. Engage your core here to protect your low back, nice and slow. Inhale, come back through center, uncross the legs if they were crossed. Take your feet hip distance apart. Once again, realign the hips so that they're in the center of the mat. You can take your arms back by your sides for a moment if you'd like. Inhale, extend the left leg, and then cross ankle over knee. Figure four, left leg leading. Maybe the left hand comes to the left thigh, pushes it gently away. That could be plenty. Right, point your left foot here. I know typically the cue is to flex, but you actually engage muscles when you point the foot in your left leg. Right, you can always have the option to draw the right knee in, find that rock, or for one final hamstring stretch for that side, straighten the right leg. Stay for one more inhale. If you're finding that rock, begin to come back to stillness. And then exhale, we'll all meet back with the right foot down if you're not already there. And go ahead and cross your left leg all the way over the right, so the left thigh stacks on top of right. Arms come out like a T, palms face up, press down through the right foot. Shift the hips to the left a little bit. Again, that creates more space in side body as you allow the legs to fall over to the right. And again, this might be too intense on the side body, right? This is a deep twist. If it feels too much, unhook the legs and just gently allow the left leg to fall on top of right. This time, gaze comes over left fingertips, if it feels okay in your neck, right? Of course, you should never feel any pain or pinching, just sensation. bottom of your next exhale. Draw the belly button in to engage the core. Shift back through center, uncross the legs. Pressing to the feet just enough to lift the hips. Realign so you're really pressing your lumbar spine, your low back firmly into the mat. Toe heel your feet out wide. Tap your knees in together to touch. Take your right hand to your belly, your left hand to your heart. Check in with your body. This knock knee pose might feel most supportive for your final resting pose, your Shavasana. If you are craving a Shavasana with straight legs, begin to walk your legs forward and take up space. You can keep hand on heart, hand on belly, or perhaps you have your arms by your sides. Right? Palms can face up for accepting or down for grounding. If you have the time, I really encourage you to stay and take this Shavasana with us. We'll stay for a few minutes in Shavasana and I will guide you out. But if you have even more time, I encourage you to stay as long as you'd like, right? So no need to be guided out if you want to stay in. And otherwise, once you find your shape for your Shavasana, your final resting pose, let's tuck the shoulders slightly underneath. Allow your eyes to close. And just allow your mind to drift, right? Until I guide you out of the Shavasana. Really just allow your mind to wander. Shavasana. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Full breath out, exhale. And again, if you have the time, stay right where you are. Stay as long as you like. If you're ready to be guided out, begin to find movement through your wrists, your ankles, your jaw side to side. Release through your forehead. Maybe you find one more full body stretch by taking your arms up overhead, legs stretch long. Allow your exhale. Just roll off onto your favorite side. It does not matter right or left. But when you arrive, take a moment of pause on your side. check in with the intention that you set. Notice if it resonates still. Notice any shifts, good or bad. Can you allow it all to be there? And gently press down through your forearm and lift yourself up into a comfortable seated position on your mat. When you arrive in your seated position, hands come to prayer, and then take your thumbs to your third eye. And the light inside of me honors the light inside of you. Namaste. Again, thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. Feel free to reach out